Airbrushing. It looks easy, but let me tell you, it can be very difficult. In this video, I'm going to share with you one tip that will make you airbrush so much better in no time. It'll take a little bit of practice, but trust me, once you master it, you can do anything with your airbrush. And if you're airbrushing wrong, then you're going to get yourself into a bad habit. So make sure you watch and keep practicing this particular tip. So airbrushes come in both single action and double action. This is a single action. You can see here you just press down and you get paint and air at the same time. So if I'm painting, you can see it's coming out. I've got to move up closer to get a fine line, but you can also wind this out, I believe. Let me try. So winding it out will allow you to go a bit finer, and then winding it in gives you a broad spray. But you can see I'm literally have to keep moving with it. If I sit there and move and stop, we're going to get these heavier areas. Now a single action definitely has its place and is handy for doing backgrounds and bits and pieces. It is a lot more difficult to do detailed artwork with one of these. It is possible, but it is a lot more difficult. So let me show you what a double action is like. So press down for air and just pull back for paint. So you can see as I pull back, you've got product coming out, and I'm keeping that air pressed down at all times. So that's the key with a double action airbrush. So you can see nothing's coming out, pressing down for air, pull back for paint, and if I want to go up nice and close, I can get fine detail. Now the key to using a double action airbrush, and this is where most people go wrong, and this is what you need to practice, is you don't want to be doing this. Right, so you don't want to paint like this, and you can hear that air going on and off, on and off. You want to keep the air pressed down at all times and just move that trigger finger back. The more you move it back, the more paint will come out, and the less you pull back, you'll only get a little bit of paint that'll come out, and that way you can do fine lines. So when you pull back further, you want to be further away from the surface. When you only pull back a little, you want to be up nice and close, and that'll allow you to do fine detail. So air on at all times, paint on, paint off, paint on, paint off. Not like that, and not like that. This will give you a patchy finish. The other thing that incorrect use of double action does is it will accelerate what's called tip drying, which is the air passing through the fine fluid nozzle, and what it's doing is it's drying the paint on the end of your needle, and that will create blockages and give you all sorts of trouble. So even though it may feel funny, it's kind of like patting your head and rubbing your tummy at the same time. Keeping that air pressed down and using your double action correctly is how you're going to get the most out of your double action airbrush, and it'll allow you to do all the artwork that you wish, including adding fine detail like in this ice skull, as well as the fine detailing within the ice dragon. So distance wise, if you want to do a broad spray, again, air on at all times, and you can see I'm about 15 centimeters away from the surface, and I'm just coloring in. And that way I can get a nice broad flat tone. Or if I want to go super fine, I'm up nice and close, I'm virtually touching the surface, and then I'm pulling back on that trigger to create my fine line. So just another different camera angle, broad spray, further away, but still air on at all times, paint on, paint off. And I'd use this for colouring in as well. And that way you're going to get a 50-50 overlap, and you can get a nice even tone. Or up nice and close, paint on, paint off, paint on, paint off, and I'm able to get super fine line. Now generally I mix my paint at a 1:1 ratio, and that's what I'd recommend to start off with. So equal parts paint and reducer or thinner. If you want to go super fine, then I'd drop your PSI down from say the 30 to 40 PSI that I would use for general airbrushing when I'm using that 1:1 ratio. I'd drop it down to a 30% paint, 70% reducer mix, and I drop my PSI to about 18 to 20 PSI, and that way you can get really fine lines. If you have an airbrush with a MAC valve like this, then you can wind that in. That'll restrict your airflow, over thin your paint, and you're going to be able to go even finer. So to fast track your learning or to advance your airbrushing skills, you can check out both our introductory airbrush course and our Ice Dragon course at airbrushasylum.thinkific.com.